Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It is Wednesday, the 27th of July, and Fed Day has come and gone, and the markets have roared. So let's talk about today. Well, first of all, let's talk about what's going on in these markets. Today, we opened up a little bit. We pushed. We kind of dilly-dallied around most of the day with tech very strong, and here's the Fed meeting. Here's the announcement. And then Powell started to speak, and that's when we took off. And I got to give Powell credit this time. He spoke well. The market liked what he had to say. He's been very soothing to the market. He used the word data dependent multiple times moving forward after another 0.75 basis point rate hike. I want you all to stop and think about what's been going on in this market. This market seems to be shrugging off every little bad news. Now, caveat, last two Fed meetings, we closed strong and we gapped down and sold off the following day. So, we need to be aware that that is here's one of them, here's the other one over in here. This is a possibility. But that said, the markets feel much stronger this time. As we were talking about in the room, the 8 days above the 50-day, the 21 days about to cross the 50-day. We've filled this gap up here, and we've left two open gaps down below here by trapping a bunch of shorts in this market. And the next move to me would be up to 408, then the 100-day, and then up into this 417 area, and we'll see. The other thing going on with this market here is it's shrugging off bad earnings. And what do I mean by that is, if you look at yesterday, Microsoft last night missed on EPS, missed on revenue after they had already guided down a month before, and the market held serve. Then it gave very rosy guidance and off it went. And look at Microsoft, this big pop and go, big gap left here, and as it pushed up, and it's about getting very, very close to breaking out of this range as it's trying to break here. Google, also horrific numbers, bad, missed on both sides, didn't even really guide, but talked about tons of headwind, tons of problem. Google gapped in a big push up. Shop guided horrifically, talked about how wrong they were, how they made the wrong calls, how bad their earnings were. Shop is up and already filled almost the entire gap down that it had from yesterday when they announced the 10% layoffs. So if you're in this market and you're very bearish right now, I would suggest you take a hard look at yourself and ask, is this market telling me I should be bearish or bullish or more cautious? And right now, this market seems to not care, not give a crap about bad news right now. It seems to be shrugging everything off. We do have GDP tomorrow at 8:30. That's going to be a big number. It's expected to be negative. You have two quarters of negative GDP growth. I would technically say we're in a recession, but you're not going to hear that tomorrow because nobody wants to say it. Yellen's going to come on afterwards and talk about GDP. That means they're expecting a very bad number, and she's going to come on and say we're not in a recession. I want you all to remember one thing. She is no longer the economist that we know and love. She is now a public figure and a spokesman for this administration. So for me going forward from here, you could take a look at, don't make me laugh. You could take a look at everything here. Semis are breaking out to the upside today, all right? Meta's running into earnings. We'll see what they say tonight. Google's taking off, right, after bad earnings. Tesla also pushing back up into the earnings high here. Amazon's front running into earnings. This market seems good. So if we don't sell off tomorrow morning, I think we go higher. And that's how I'm going to look at it. And I hope you're all doing great. And I just want to share my thoughts with you here as we go into tomorrow. For members in the room, I'll open the room at 8:20 tomorrow for GDP. Everybody else have a great night. And I'm going to be staying late for earnings.